Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Road Trip Flip. I'm Andy, and of course, I have with me the Road Trip Flip himself, Marvin. Welcome back, Marvin.
Hello.
So today we're going to talk about your title episode was "Get Busy Livin'," and I'm going to right away say that one of the things I am not okay living with is brown rice. White rice is the best. And my shirt here by my daughter Caitlin, and on the back of my shirt says "Brown rice sucks." So when I talk about get busy living, I don't got no time for brown rice, Marvin. It's white rice for me all day.
I'm with you on that one, actually.
Sorry, all my brown rice lovers, not for me.
Yeah, no.
You keep going.
That's all right.
So we're gonna talk about get busy living, right? This
Correct.
is the ones I keep my living up is I stay on my white rice. So has nothing to do with cars, but that's where we find ourselves today.
That's good. No, I'm with you on that one.
So talk to you about get busy. Why are we calling this episode with this title?
Okay, so this was there's a couple of things that I came across on this trip, and it all started with I got reacquainted with an old squadron mate of mine, Jason Post. Unfortunately, he's no longer with us, but that was one of his quotes that he brought up when he told me he had cancer.
Oof.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, brain cancer, and we had been talking about, okay, hey, let's, he was very, very cavalier about it all, and I was talking about telling him about my road trips that I've been doing at the time, and I wanted to pick up a van at some point, a high roof van, so I can convert it into a camper, because a lot of the vans I'd been purchasing and selling didn't have high roofs. So I thought, well, okay, maybe I could incorporate this into a visit with Jason. And he happened to be in Virginia. And I had already been through even an F-250 camper van. We had a shell on it. Didn't work for me. I didn't like the cargo carrying capability of it because it was just like
it's real narrow,
skinny.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I had a 1975 another G20 van. It was a quick one. I didn't hold it for longer than a few months because it was too old.
A different G20 than the G20 story we told?
Yeah,
okay, got it.
Completely different. Yeah, it was just a quick one. But the good thing about that one was it was smog exempt. But still, it needed a lot of work that I just didn't want to put in it. So I thought, okay, let me go a little bit newer, somewhere into the 90s with a high roof G20 van. So in talking with Jason about it, yeah, that was actually his mantra for the time being, which is from a movie called The Shawshank Redemption. I don't seen it. Yeah.
Yep.
So there's a particular quote in there where the quote is either get busy living or get busy dying.
That's right.
And it was actually in line with what I've been doing for myself too, because I prior to maybe, I don't know, 5-7 years ago, I wasn't taking road trips. I was just busy working. And so these road trips that I've been going on, man, I've met up with some of the greatest people, picked up some interesting vehicles, I'm sure you know. Met up with some old friends, especially on this trip. Met up with some old friends that I hadn't seen in decades. And so in talking more about how that we could meet up, Jason first said, well, let's meet up in Nashville, see who wants to meet up. And then I thought, well, that's not bad. Rick's there. And then we talked about it even more. And then it turned out that there was the aircraft that I used to fly, the H-46 Sea Knight for the Navy. They were having a reunion in Pensacola, Florida. And that's what I flew with Jason. He was also a pilot. At the time that he had been diagnosed with cancer, he was the chief pilot for a police department in Virginia. So he had obviously been, I think he was medically retired dealing with cancer. Yeah. And so it was pretty much set at that point. We agreed, oh, let's go meet at the H-46 reunion in Pensacola. We'll meet up with a bunch of people that we obviously know, and then I get to pick up another road trip vehicle. So what do? call Rick, say, hey, Rick, want to go on another road trip with me down to Pensacola? I'll pick up a van by your house. And that's exactly what I did. So
Wow.
when you see the videos, the van is in Rick's driveway.
Mm.
And this was one that, Rick, obviously he's mechanically inclined. We're both pilots together. I asked him to go check out the van for me. And it was in a nearby town. I can't remember if it was half an hour or 40 minutes away from him, called Lafayette.
Mhm.
They don't pronounce it Lafayette. I think it was Lafayette, Tennessee.
But it's spelled the same?
Same.
But just pronounced different. Okay.
Correct.
Got
correct.
it. All right.
I didn't really know, but okay, now I know. So he went to go check it out, and the older gentleman that bought it, it's similar to the last one. I think he bought it out of the Great Lakes area, brought it home, and let it sit. He was going to do some traveling in it, and it's kind of like the last Ford. It was a sitter. It just didn't get driven.
Mm-hmm.
So it was all complete, all original. It was in decent shape, had a little bit of rust. Didn't bother me too much. But Rick was the one that looked it over and then, called me when he was there at the gentleman's house. And then Rick actually bought it after we discussed everything about it. Rick bought it, and then I bought it from Rick.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Well, Rick never put his name on the title. He just handed over the cash.
Right.
And then as soon as I showed up, I
Right.
put my name on it.
Yeah.
So, and then the gentleman was okay with that sold it to him. The part that I had a little bit of heartburn with was not the vehicle and the whole process, but Rick spent, I don't know, an hour or 2 hours with the guy. The guy actually made his own moonshine.
Oh my gosh.
And he gave Rick the parting gift of, I don't know how many bottles of that.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
What?
And they were, so Rick, being a connoisseur, the guy asked him, hey, you want to try some?
Oh, wow.
And of course he had to drive, so he being responsible, he took a swig of what he said was some of the best.
Wow.
I don't know anything about that stuff.
Jeez.
So yeah, he got a closing gift, if you will.
Yeah, parting gift, like you said. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I don't drink, so maybe next time I go through Nashville, I'll ask Rick if he still has some.
No parting gift for you. Van only.
Right. Right. So Rick gets it to his house, and it's when I finally get there. Like I said, when you see the video, it's in his driveway, and it actually runs a little rough. Oh man, she's a little rough. So what I did was I decided, well, because it was probably because it was sitting. So I did the old standard driveway tune-up, cap, rotor, plug wires, spark plugs, oil, everything, all the basics. And it seemed to run a little better, but still running kind of rough. And I think what the worst thing about it was it just had a tank full of bad gas in it.
Mm.
So before we took off for Pensacola, we burned a couple of tanks of gas,
Mm-hmm.
and it actually did get better.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, so it probably took us. I was there for probably 2 full days at Rick's house before we started heading south from Nashville towards Pensacola.
Towards Pensacola, yeah.
Yeah. And so when we got there, it turns out it was a great reunion because I saw so many of the pilots that I used to fly with, and we had a separate pilot dinner, but the reunion was for everybody. It was pilots, aircrew, maintainers.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and they were from all coasts, from East Coast, West Coast, Guam.
Oh, man.
That were flying Navy H-46s before they retired them.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was a really good, well put together.
But you didn't plan this purchase in conjunction with that, did you? Was that all like part of the same like logistics plan for you?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because it just happened to be, because again, Jason thought it would be a good idea that because he had some close friends in the 46 world
Right.
that he wanted to see too.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, so it all worked out, and we planned it. And a lot of times, I can't find the exact vehicle or the perfect vehicle. I just get what I get. It's kind of like the old box of chocolates, right? But this one turned out to be just fine,
Yeah.
and it made the trip just fine down to Pensacola. And I saw, oh my goodness, pilots, air crew, maintainers that I hadn't seen for 30 years.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty neat, and it was right on the water in Pensacola.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, yeah. And then after the reunion, I started making my way west, and coming out of Pensacola, actually, my high school tennis team doubles partner when I was a senior in high school
Mm-hmm.
lived in Pensacola.
Ha.
Yeah, my buddy Twan, and saw him, hadn't seen him in many years. From there, another high school friend in outside of Mobile, Alabama, Pedro. We were in, yeah, I know, it's funny. We were in Mrs. Dismuke's Spanish class together in high school. And so Pedro hit Pete, obviously. We all went by our Spanish, kind of Spanish names in Spanish class. So I've always called him Pedro. And I saw him, like I said, outside of Mobile. Went to the what is it, the Fort Rucker Museum. That was pretty fun. Aviation Museum.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Went to New Orleans and saw. When I was in my reserve squadron, one of the first people I met was Brian. He was. We were the same rank, but he was full-time reserve. I was just a part-time reservist. And he was in New Orleans, living there, finally retired. And the video is pretty cool because he was a pole vaulter in
Yes.
high school and college. Yeah. And
Yeah.
we went to his, he was coaching a high school track team
Mm-hmm.
in pole vaulting.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of sat in. I didn't want to try it myself.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, no, I'll pass. I'll just observe.
That would have been catastrophic. Yeah, it would have been bad. So I saw Brian, and then onward west from New Orleans, went to Dallas and saw my buddy Bill. He was my aviation officer candidate buddy, Navy, and we were in flight school together. We were roommates in flight school at the bachelor officers' quarters, and then that was fun too. Then I had to go by the Gas Monkey Garage.
Oh, cool! From the television.
Yes.
Oh, awesome!
Went to see it. I saw Richard Rawlings. Didn't meet him in person, but I was kind of like starstruck. But I didn't walk right up to him and introduce myself. But he's pretty good about that stuff.
That's
Anybody
cool.
walking by, he does the meet and greet.
Yeah,
Impromptu
that's cool.
on the spot. Yeah. So bought a T-shirt at his gift shop and went onward from there. But it was pretty neat to go see it finally because I don't know how much of it you've watched, but I've watched a lot of their shows.
Oh yeah, I love that show.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, look, if it's automotive, I've put time into it.
Yeah. Same. And then obviously went to passing through Arizona. I can't remember if I saw Bob, but I did see Jim, my Navy buddy there too. So made the trip all the way home. Thank goodness, no catastrophic breakdowns. And I used it on a few surf trips again. Same thing like the other vans, but didn't hold on to it for too long.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how long did this one end up staying around though?
It was probably 6-8 months.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's not
yeah.
like an immediate turnaround, but it's
No.
also not the year, 2 years. Sometimes things hang around for a little longer, but
I did initially intended to be built out and become a camper van, but for some reason I just didn't bond with it. I don't know if it was maybe the little bit of rust in it, or that it wasn't running horribly, but I think it was because of all the extra weight. It was heavy and it was kind of slow.
Was there like just enough happening where you're like, I don't think this is worth it.
Yeah.
Like just like those little things, they kind of add up. It's not like a massive thing. It's all these little tiny things
Well,
sometimes.
no, and it wasn't in bad shape as far as, mechanically speaking. It passed smog, got
Yeah.
its past smog. It was running just fine. I just, like I said, I don't know if it was because it was green.
The color could have something to do with it.
I don't know if I like the color green. I can't, I just couldn't really put a finger on why I didn't want to keep it, but other than I just didn't really bond with it.
Okay, but in a lot of your stories, what ends up happening is you're finding something that you had interest in that the person selling it to you had interest in. So if you were not interested in this one, how'd you find someone who was interested in it?
Well, okay, so think back to one of the previous or earliest episodes. You can always find a buyer. There's always a buyer for anything that's being sold, especially with the right price. And once again, I put a price tag on it when I put it on the market. I made it attractive. I didn't really make a whole lot of money on it if I earned anything. The big thing was getting to see getting to see Jason.
Yeah.
Um, and it turns out that the person that bought it, she was a federal firefighter,
Oh, really?
Jessica. Yeah, and she
Okay.
just needed it to, in case she had to be on station. Uh,
That's interesting. Our last episode was about the fire support vehicle.
yes,
And so the buyer of this one, she was in fire.
yes,
Wow, interesting.
she's a firefighter. Yeah,
Huh, cool.
on North Island, Coronado.
Wow.
Yeah. So I think her job took her out of the area, obviously every now and then to go fight fires elsewhere. So she just needed some place to crash, I suppose. And the as far as you know the mechanics of it, it was running just fine, past smog just fine. Um, the rust didn't bother her, and it wasn't bad. It was just I don't like rust, especially in California. It's only going to get worse.
Right.
So
Right.
she just needed it for the utility of it, not for what it looked like.
That's cool.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but all in all, a great trip.
Yeah.
It kind of had an underlying tone of, it was a little somber going
Yeah,
to,
you're going to see Jason, spend some time with him, make a couple more memories, and
and it was good to see him reconnect with
Mhm.
with the fellas
Yeah.
at the reunion because, with cancer, sometimes you just don't know, and I think we all have our run-ins with friends and family that it's a nasty thing that it's just a part of life. And unfortunately, Jason's no longer with us. But that whole trip was just a great reminder for me that that his mantra was as sobering as it is. It was a good reminder for me to keep doing what I'm doing. Remember the important things in life, and that's why this channel exists. It's a large part of why this channel exists is because before I head on out, I want to leave something behind, and I want to have some experiences that not just benefit me, but benefit somebody else in some way, even if it's small. So I don't know if Jason's watching this, but he did me a favor on that trip.
So, what is, something that you will um, remember him by the most?
Well, his movie quote, because as some people may see it as trite, but it does have a lot of meaning. We're not dead yet. There's still a lot of life left in us, so go do something about it. And that's what I'll. It was just a good reminder from an old squadron buddy. You know, he left me more with a happy thought than a somber one.
I love that. And you don't have to tell this story. And I think I don't know, I just feel compelled to say this. Like, this is one of those stories where you could just kept this one yourself. But I
Yeah.
think in being a loving friend and a caring guy, you want to share something about Jason and also kind of memorialize this as part of your own friendship with him, but also as his component of the whole road trip flip story and how meaningful it is, and to actually do the things that you are interested in doing and to chase them down. If you have to chase it, chase it. If you just have to go be aligned with it, then be aligned with it. But I think this is one of those where it's important to do this kind of thing. And it's one thing for us to have conversations about it. It's another for us to share it with other people. You don't have to do that. So I'm grateful for you doing that. I mean, it is your show and this is your episode, but this is one of those things that you could have just held on yourself. But I feel very fortunate that you shared that with me today.
Yeah, me too. And I appreciate having a forum to be able to do it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Thanks, Marvin. The way you talk about Jason, he sounds like a really awesome guy that I probably would have loved having the chance to have met. Yeah.
hey, folks, thanks for watching. I appreciate you watching this far. This was a tough story for me to tell because it was a good buddy of mine that's no longer with us. But these stories need to be told. There was so much more good that came of it anyway. Got to see some great people. So if you liked what you're seeing, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. And also, don't forget, we have a merch store, and it's either in the description below, or you can go to theroadtripflip.com and find the link there. And we have a limited run of inventory, but get what you can. But please, like I said, it would help us out to support the channel. So head on over. And until next time, I will see you on the flip side.
Get busy living. You get busy dying.